All right, Daydreamer. We need to pivot again.
Pivot?
Look, yes, we need to pivot.
Okay.
All right, check this out,
Okay.
everybody. Poor Daydreamer and I
Pivot.
were spending the
Sorry.
last 3 years working really hard on ourselves to be more in tune and open with our emotions because that's what the ladies were asking for, my dude.
Oh
Is that
yeah,
not
we
right?
cry every night, and in the morning we call each other about our. What are you talking about?
Just play along. Would you please? Okay.
We cry every night,
Well-
and in the morning I call him to tell him about my feelings.
Thank you. Jeez. Anywho's, check this out. This is on her take. Let them get into it, right?
New York Times article that came out on July 25th, and the premise of the article is basically women complaining that they have to support their partners, which I
Emotionally.
thought was just
Emotionally.
a relationship.
Right.
But now
Emotionally,
they have pathologized that into something, into some sort of burden that they have to carry, that a cross that they have to bear. For the past 30 some years that I've been alive, I thought that was just love. Honestly, I thought that was a definition of caring about something.
Yeah, and what the
Oh,
whole
Lindy.
complaining about man keeping leaves out of the equation is that we as women obviously want our partners to be there for us emotionally, mentally, to be supportive of us. It's a two-way street.
That's not what they're saying in these
So
articles.
if you're complaining about being emotionally available for your male partner, well then don't be surprised if you get the same treatment in return.
Amen.
It is a two-way street.
Oh no, they're not like that one. They won't like when they get what they give.
I just wanted to make sure I would understand that this was legit because for so long, the women's of the world keep complaining that men weren't opening up about their emotions. They were complaining that they were so quiet, that they were just these studs and rocks that didn't want to express how much they were feeling sad or whatnot, right? And here we are, they're complaining, right? So I feel like there's no way. So we went to go look at the article, right? So let's go and pull that up. Obviously, we're not going to read the whole thing because it's kind of lengthy, so we're going to link this down below. But here are the highlights that I pulled out, okay?
Low lights probably.
This doctor or this guy, Mr. Leoli, says that straight male clients tell him that they rarely open up to anybody but their girlfriends and wives. But their partners have become their unofficial therapist, he says, doing all the emotional labor. Okay, so as her take has explained it, and I'll explain it as Angelica Puzio Ferrara explains it, who coined the term, man-keeping essentially describes the work women do to meet the social and emotional needs of the men in their lives, from supporting their partners through daily challenges and inner turmoil to encouraging them to meet up with their friends.
What the hell?
First off, I gotta say, why does there have to be a name for everything nowadays, dude? Man keeping? Everybody just wants to coin a new term these days. But here's the interesting: you keep reading through the article, and they end up bringing up this example. So this example is by Miss Teely Colson and her boyfriend Glenn. So essentially, this is what they told. Her role as the de facto social director of the relationship includes more serious concerns too. And there was more before that. When are we going to meet each other's parents? When are we going on our first vacation together? She said. And if all of that onus is on me to kind of plan, then I also feel all the responsibility of if something goes wrong. Man-keeping put words to her feelings of imbalance. I feel responsible for bringing the light to the relationship, she said. Does this not sound like the opposite? Like she now has to put in the work to get some sort of emotional response out of her boyfriend? Or am I misinterpreting this?
I see what you mean. I wasn't seeing the connection, but when you put it like that, I think I get it a little bit. I get what you mean. That's interesting.
So they go off. The beginning of this article is them talking about women complaining about their men being so emotional now they have to deal with their man's emotions. But the example they gave is the opposite of that, as if she has to pry to get any sort of emotional response out of her boboyfriend.
Right. Okay. I see that. That's
You want to know what her boyfriend's response was at?
What?
Okay, but is that bad? First off, this is the exact opposite. But dude, the dude's oblivious. He's oblivious. He's minding his own business. He's living his life. He doesn't have time to plan their vacation, and they've only been dating together for 7 months. Like, they're not even married, bro.
7 months, and he wants to. She wants him to plan a vacation.
Right. Okay.
Is that normal?
And now
are we bad boyfriends?
I would not plan a vacation 7 months into a relationship unless I thought this was the girl, and it's likely I'm going to be proposing to her within these 7 months because she's just that damn perfect and doesn't use words like man keeping.
Dude, that's crazy.
So this didn't
What
seem
do
like
they
it was
mean
in
by
line with her take.
vacation? Sorry, I'm stuck on that word. What you want? So outings, dates, sure, maybe a getaway here and there, but not like a full on. Okay, Maybe I just misunderstand.
See, I was getting lost because they were talking about emotions and the men kind of spewing their emotions at them. But now they're getting into like this whole I need to plan the dates and
I'm hung
and-
up on
and
the word
social outings.
vacation. But let's move on because if not, we're gonna get stuck.
Okay. Anywho's, I dug a little bit further, and I found this funny piece. I thought I'd just share this because it was obnoxiously hilarious, dude.
Okay, The Guardian.
The Guardian, yeah. And then this then tends to fall back in line with the definition. I think this is
Man-keeping.
short enough to be the whole thing.
Why single women are giving up dating.
All right, let's read through it. Name, man keeping. Age, semantically about a year old. Appearance, needy and exhausting.
Semantically, what does that mean? Oh, like
That-
the word?
Yeah, the word.
Gotcha.
But listen to like, I have no idea what this is. I have no idea if it's a rant or an article.
Oh God, a new term with the word man as a prefix. These are always tedious. Go and cry about it in your man cave. You manspreading mansplainer. They forgot to
Why you
add
mad, bro?
proud in there. Proud manspreading mansplainer.
Dude, just all right. Keep going. See, it's cheap and lazy. Wait, it's cheap and lazy rhetorical device. Yes, but man keeping is a real thing. Men don't man keep. Women man keep. Like every response is like some passive aggressive response. How so? Increasingly, the dynamic in heterosexual relationships seems to be that a woman is tasked with coaching her partner through his problems.
Okay, that's more in line with your first definition.
Yeah, and so this whole thing is in line with the first definition, but I thought it was funny because whoever wrote this is very angry.
A whole generation of men don't feel comfortable opening up to their male friends. That's a goddamn lie. We don't communicate the same way women do.
No, we do not, and it'll never be that way either. Beholden to ridiculous masculine, like what? Why are you so mad, my dude? Like this whole time you've been asking for us to be emotional, and now you're angry at that? I just don't get these, dude. And so I had to find one more article. I find this Yahoo article. This is the gist of it. This article went back to the idea that men aren't expressing themselves well enough. So the women now have to take on the burden on top of their other responsibilities, essentially free labor.
That's what man keeping is?
I don't know.
So according to Yahoo,
I don't
man
know.
keeping is men aren't opening up enough. And according to the New York Times, man keeping means that they're opening up too much.
Do you see an issue here?
No, this makes perfect sense if it's logic from women. Just kidding. Kind of.
I feel like they just forgot to consult with each other before they went and started ranting about this issue.
They got to do better with the communicating.
All right,
That's
these
hilarious.
are side notes, but I figured that I just thought they were just so hilariously wrong, right? Women have long been socialized to stay connected to their emotions and to articulate them, while men are often taught that expressing their feelings can signal
Oh.
weakness and must be avoided to perform masculinity.
So this is what we were discussing earlier, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Our thoughts on this was summarized. We don't think they've been socialized to be in tune with their emotions. They're just in tune with their emotions, and it has not been discouraged or beat out of them like it has with men.
Hey, well, easy, danger.
No, not like physically beat out, but like metaphorically, they beat it out of men. Like they say, don't be so emotional. I do think that is social, but for women, that's not the case. They're just
Nowhere in
allowed
s-
to be that way, and that's fine.
Yeah,
which is fine.
exactly.
I'm not saying it's bad.
Yeah, exactly. But then even then, you're also not good at expressing your emotions. You're expecting us to be mind readers. So actually follow your own advice for a little bit there,
Right.
right? And then here's another interesting that I saw. Conflict resolution is something women are encouraged to do in their friendships, but men are socialized to experience that as a strange thing to do with other men. Men solve all problems.
I'd have never.
With their
That is this whole sentence is a goddamn lie.
It is. I don't know where you're getting your references from.
It is very rare for two men to have an issue. Two men who have been friends for a while to have an issue and then stop being friends
Right.
because they're so good at conflict resolution. They move on. They realize, okay, either he's wrong and I'm not going to change his mind, so we just move on, or they convince each other of who's right and they move on still.
I don't know if they are angry at men being emotional or men not being emotional enough. I just don't know what the issue is here with man keeping. Do you know what man keeping sounds like?
My first thought goes to like shaving.
Manscape?
Yeah, because manscaping. So it makes me think of shaving or keeping up your appearance in some way, shape, or form. That's where my head went.
Oh no, I was just gonna go. It just sounds like being in a relationship. But okay.
Oh, you're making a joke.
We can
Oh,
go
my
there,
bad.
too.
My fault.
Okay, but I wanted to make this one. Here's the only consistent item I got from all of this confusing research. They feel the burden of being the emotional bearer, and no matter what the actual situation is, they are unsatisfied either way. I think the idea of manscaping is that men,
Man keeping.
if Oh, sorry.
Unless
what
you're
did I
now
say,
moving to
manscaping?
manscaping for some reason.
No, man keeping.
I have thoughts
sorry,
on that.
correction. What, manscaping?
Yeah.
Well, we won't get into that right now.
Okay. Okay. Carry on then.
I do think there is slight validity to this idea that men should not only spew their situations to women, because if they have been conditioned to kind of keep all of their emotions tucked in tight, and then they just throw all of that at their women for against the actual definition of man keeping, I do think that men should be able to manage these things and not just overburden their woman with a bunch of emotional.
I agree. It also
issues.
depends on what issues you're burdening them with. If
Right,
you come
right.
home talking about some weird conflict with a guy that you had at work, some disagreement or whatever, and you're talking to her about it, that to me is weird. That conflict should be solved, and you should be working out how to solve it. That way, you don't have to talk about it or worry about it anymore.
Right.
Right. But if like your mom just died, yeah, maybe some emotional support and you pouring some stuff out to your woman might be appropriate. Depends.
The thing is, I've never actually, out of all this reading, I didn't get a single example of what the men were supposedly spewing out.
That's hilarious.
Anywho's,
All right, let's move
we'll
on.
solve it by spinning the wheel.
Yes, sir.
Arbiters of.
Arbiters. Hey, we got to work on these mini segments more.
Yeah, we really do. What the heck? All right, Daydreamer, Arbiters of.
Oh! Look, I'm all about lessons, dude. I assume we're arbitering whether or not this card was in the right.
Legally?
I don't know.
No. I don't think so.
Okay.
Emotionally, that
Hey.
guy did the exact thing we all think. Come on.
But don't have the guts to do.
But don't have the guts to do.
He is a.
Is it right? Legally?
I'm gonna give her a 5 on the 1 to 10 scale.
On what? For what?
10, I don't know, 10 being it's okay, 1 being it's not okay. She's in a 5 somewhere. I don't know. I just came up with the scale because I don't want to fully say yes, but it's definitely not a no.
It's just, I know we're all thinking that when we see this.
Would you say
Like,
it's okay?
I wish. Legally? My
I'm like-
emotions like drive a different feeling, but if I'm gonna listen to my wisdom, yes.
No, I might say it's
Wrong.
okay. I might say it's fine.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I myself wouldn't do it, and I just don't know how I would react if I saw someone do
I
it.
myself would not do it either, but that doesn't mean I don't think it's fine.
But to the point to where you'd run someone over to nearly kill them, because that was what they had done. They had made the decision that I might kill this person.
We've talked about this
Right.
before. I don't think that's what they were thinking. In the moment, they were just mad and they were not considering that this person might die. I don't think that's
Yeah, I know
what
we
was
have
going
talked
through their
about
head. But
You're
I
in
just
a car.
when you stand in because again you're saying okay he made a decision to run the person over, but the guy also made a decision to stand in the middle of the road.
Yeah, I know. But usually, as pattern has shown, people don't go raging into a crowd of people unless you're crazy.
Thus incentivizing more crowds to form on the streets.
I know. Which is why I struggle with it.
Okay, we'll just
Because
agree.
that person did what we all think emotionally
Yeah.
and feel.
Well,
I think we have to disagree on this one.
Yeah, we'll have to disagree on that. You think it's not
Yeah.
okay? I think it's borderline okay.